Because now you are gathering the information and then you're going to project back to the same people, the audience, the reader at the end of the day.
Yes, yes.
I find that interesting.
Because you know what you want, even though it's fiction, and this is just my opinion, you still want realism in there. You don't want it to be, too far out there. At least with me, I want my stories to have a hint of realism in there. For example, Abigail and Henry, a werewolf and a vampire. We know they don't exist. However, they both had jobs. they both had, he was a janitor at the school she was teaching at. She taught night school. People to get their GED. She taught night school. And I want to have just a hint of realism in there. I want them to be relatable. I do. I don't want you to feel distant from my character. I want you to see that they have issues too. They deal with things too, bills and all that stuff. They deal with it too. And they have secrets that they want kept, undercover too. So I try to make them as relatable as possible.
Thank you for that. Now, have you have some friends who maybe like your work and they too also like to write, but they are not writing? I'm trying to understand. Do we know why other people don't write? Because I think we all should be writing. Okay, maybe not all of us, but many of us should be writing.
I do have some friends that are very artistic, but they would always tell me writing was my bag. They really never. I'm just thinking to myself. They never really got into writing like that. I mean, they're very talented in their own way. They're artists, musicians, tailors, things like that. But when it came to writing, they said they never. And some of them said they tried. They just never got the hang of it. And they said their imagination never really took them in that area where they did blossom, like I said, with drawing, music, clothes, designing, things like that. But when it came to writing, they was just like, that's a special breed when you're a writer, because you have to think of things that other people don't really entertain often. And you have to present it in a way where other people aren't accustomed to it being presented. And they were just saying, writing is not my ministry. That's you. That's you, Nina. So I don't really have. No, my friends they don't write. Not like that, no.
But what about you? Is writing hard for you? Is it difficult for you to write?
Every now and then, of course, everyone has experienced a writer's block. Everyone has experienced that. And that's when I go to my family and friends and I talk to them, and I work through it. It's not difficult to write. However, even though I ask my question, the what if, I ask myself the question, the what if. Again, you want to make sure that it's not, again, in my opinion, that it's too far out there. And I want it to make sense. For example, I am working on a couple of scripts that are not books, and they do have the what if factor. And I like the fact that they are different. And again, when I come to the point where I experience, again, the writer's block, I just go to my family and my friends and I tell them what I'm trying to do. And yet I can't seem to get over this hump. And they help me. I will give them that. They help me get through it, and I'm able to continue. However, in some cases, there have been times where I just had to just step away for a day or two, read it, refresh eyes, go back, retweet it, retweak it a little bit. And so there have been some times where that's helped also.
All right. Now, looking at the larger community, the African American community, how much opportunity are out there for writers, for example, people who are writing, who want to make a living also from their writing? Because here in this podcast, we try to encourage people to make a living what they are doing. It is important. It is legitimate. It is the right thing to do. That from what you do, you could earn from it. Now, but looking at the African American community, the one that you know, how much is this opportunity for people who are writing?
Mm. Hmm. This is just my opinion. Unfortunately, it's not that much. It really isn't, in my opinion. You can have a mind-blowing story. Oh my God. However, doesn't matter if no one wants to give you opportunity to present it to them. Unfortunately, in the industry, in the entertainment industry, a lot of people don't want to read your stuff when they don't ask for it. And I get that. I understand that. And when you try to get representation, an agent, an attorney, someone like that, to represent you, to present your story. Unfortunately, they don't want to represent you because who are you? Your name doesn't ring a bell. Renita Moore, who's that? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't ring a bell. They can Google it. My books will come up. But that doesn't mean that they want to share my story. It's sad because even Black people in the industry, when you try to present to them, most of the time they don't want to help you either because you're unknown. You're unknown. And they won't give you that chance. And again, it could be a top-notch script, story. I mean, you could have your pitch down. I mean, it's every I is dotted, every T is crossed in your pitch. But because your name is not ringing a bell, unfortunately, a lot of people don't want to give you that chance. Now, God bless those who do take a chance on you. And you'd be surprised because even Dave Chappelle has said this. When he pitched his story, his sitcom to different networks, they didn't want to take a chance on him because Dave Chappelle, who is that? Remember, his name was just Dave. I mean, come on, it's not a household name now. When Comedy Central picked him up, and you can Google this, of course, that's when he became the Dave Chappelle. But then another station, television network, all of a sudden wanted to show his show in a rerun, I believe. And he got upset, and rightfully so, because he went to them first and they turned him down. But once his name became Dave Chappelle, he's the Dave Chappelle, now they wanted to reap off what he worked so hard to get. And unfortunately, some people do face that. Just like with the movie Precious, I believe. Lee Daniels was looking for funding. And I believe he went to Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry at one point for it. And they said no, they wouldn't help him. So he makes it. And now it's getting all this acclaim. The movie Precious is getting all this acclaim. That's when Tyler and Oprah came back to Lee and gave him so much money. After the fact. After. And my thing is, where were they before? And that's a problem that I have, again, with our people being in the industry. Tyler Perry has this production company, this studio. I mean, high end. And all he does is produce his own stuff. He doesn't produce anybody else's. He just produces his own. He doesn't give writers a chance. He just writes his own stuff and he produces his own stuff. And hey, it's your studio, do what you want. I'm just saying he should be a little bit more open to other writers.